Spontaneous sex versus planned sex. Which one actually works better for marriages? Welcome to another episode of Intimacy with Dr. O, and today we are going to be discussing spontaneous versus planned sex. Which one is actually better? A lot of people have this popular belief that good sex must always be spontaneous. But the truth is, if you are waiting for sex to always happen naturally or spontaneously, then you might be on a long thing. So before we go any further, let me break it down. What is spontaneous sex and what is planned or scheduled sex? So spontaneous sex or intercourse is when genital meet and greet happens naturally. You don't plan it, you don't schedule it. It just happens based on how one person is feeling or both spouses are feeling. If your husband, for example, is in the mood and is finding you attractive, then he makes his move and you have. In planned or scheduled sex, it doesn't happen naturally and it's not based on your feelings at the time. It's a bit more intentional. You're not waiting for your feelings. You're not waiting to be in the mood before you decide to have intercourse with your partner. You're not going with your feelings, right? But you are making a deliberate effort to ensure that you have intercourse with your partner, to maintain the intimacy, to maintain that connection, and to maintain the bond. So it can involve maybe agreeing on a time or agreeing on a day to have intercourse. So I'm going to be going into detail and breaking everything down. Which one is recommended? Which one is bad? Which one is good? When should you have spontaneous sex? When should you have planned or scheduled? Or should you even be having planned or scheduled sex at all? We're going to talk about that in this video. So if you've ever been married for a long term or you've been in any type of long-term relationship with your partner, you would find out that spontaneous sex does not happen as often. And of course, that's not because you don't love your partner anymore, not necessarily because you guys are having issues, but life happens. You start having kids, you have a busy work schedule, you are stressed, all the traffic in Lagos, childbirth happens, the hormonal changes that happen during childbirth, and you're no longer in the mood. If all these things that I've just mentioned apply to you, then it's good to know that you're not alone. Many couples out there are also experiencing this. So it's because of life happening. That is why the idea of planned or scheduled sex was created. So like I said earlier, the idea of planned or scheduled sex is to make a deliberate effort towards maintaining that intimacy or connection with your spouse, because let's face it, you both are not always going to be in the mood. There will be some times when you are in the mood and your spouse is not in the mood. And there will be times where your spouse is in the mood and you are not in the mood. At that time, if both of you never catch yourselves when you are both in the mood, then you find that you guys are heading towards a sexless marriage. So you now have to be intentional and deliberate about it. There is something called dutiful sex and beautiful sex. So beautiful sex is just like spontaneous sex. Both of you are in the mood. So it's explosive, it's exciting. But with dutiful sex, most times only one person is in the mood and the other person is not in the mood, and you're like, oh my God. When your partner is in the mood, ideally in a marriage, your body belongs to your partner and your partner's body belongs to you. So when you are not in the mood, when your partner is in the mood, you have a duty to fulfill the desires of your partner, just like your partner has a duty to fulfill your desires. So that is dutiful sex. I don't feel like having sex, but my partner feels like having sex, and my partner needs it at this time. So since my partner needs it, as long as I'm not dying, I'm not incapacitated, I can try. Saying no, whether for a man or a woman, getting rejection, sort of kills the mood. And after a while, you find that this spouse is no longer coming to ask for it again. And that's when some people that are not disciplined begin to look outside. Every time you reject the partner, it does something to the psyche of the partner. After some time, the person will just stop asking. So you want to avoid saying no where possible. Don't let your feelings control you. You control your feelings. You might not feel like having intercourse with your partner, but you notice that if you tell yourself, like, just like going to work, a lot of times you have to wake up in the morning 5 a.m., 6 a.m. I don't feel like going to work, but I know I have to go to work. So I have no choice. When I hear my alarm clock, I get up and go anyway, because I know that if I don't go, there will be consequences. It's kind of the same thing with intercourse. I don't feel like having sex with my partner right now, but my partner needs it. So I have to have sex with my partner because I love my partner and I want him to be okay. I want him to be happy. So even though I don't feel like, I know I have to, So I go ahead and do it anyway. And what happens most times when you don't feel like, but you go ahead and do it, your feelings will meet you along the way. When you don't feel like going to work, but you go to work, your feelings will meet you along the way. You don't feel like, but you go to work anyway. Your feelings will meet you along the way and you end up doing your job. And sometimes you even do it very well. Same thing in the other room. I don't feel like having sex, but I do it anyway. And you just find out that as long as your partner is doing the right things, before you know it, you find yourself in the mood. And you're also, on board with your partner. Now, sometimes some people might need some extra push where it's like, you have to psych yourself up. So sometimes when you're not in the mood, but you know you have to do it, you start psyching yourself by thinking about things you like about your partner. Think about how sexy your partner is. Think about the favorite body part you like about your partner. Sometimes imagine yourself in some positions that you want to try with your partner and ask your partner to help you by, saying the right things. If it doesn't lead, then you lead. Start saying all those things to him and stuff like that. And before you know it, you find out that you're in the mood. Of course, communication is important. Telling your partner what you like or how to pleasure you, so the person is not just doing nonsense. That's a whole different topic on its own. I've addressed it in my email, but I'm going to do more videos to address it. So that's how planned or scheduled sex is. You don't have to wait to be in the mood for it to happen. You already know that, okay, for example, maybe you guys can pick Fridays. Fridays are date night, so Fridays are just for me and you. We send the kids to bed early and it's just us time, right? And planned sex can sort of be beautiful in that, for example, Valentine's Day, a lot of people have planned sex because you already know that on this day something must happen. On your anniversaries, a lot of people always have sex on their wedding anniversaries planned, right? On birthdays, a lot of people always have sex that is planned. I have this book called The Bedroom Spark Reset, where I put 3 different types of intimacy games you can play with your partner in the bedroom. That kind of thing is usually done during planned or scheduled sex. So planned or scheduled sex can tend to be really beautiful because you are intentional. So you're planning everything from what you wear to how the room will be to how you will smell and all that. But if you're always waiting for it to be spontaneous, it may never happen even a whole month because you're like, oh, we both have to be in the mood, or I have to be in the mood. You might never be in the mood the whole month. It's not because you don't love your spouse, but like I said, life happens. But planned sex ensures that whether or not both of you are in the mood, you are having sex. But the truth is, every healthy marriage should actually have a good balance of both, right? Of course, there are situations where because of work, life happening, you always have to plan it. But then if you're only always planning it and it never happens spontaneously, that could also be a problem. At least once in a while, it should be happening spontaneously, right? Both of you should be in the mood. You should find each other attractive. You should be asking for it, right? If it's not happening spontaneously at all for a long period of time, then there may be a problem that needs to be addressed. So having said that, these are some red flags that you should be looking out for in your intimacy with your spouse. If in your marriage you're not having any type of intimacy or intercourse at all, then it's a problem. If you find yourself or your spouse constantly avoiding intercourse, then that is a problem. If you experience any type of pain during intercourse, there is a problem. Sex should never be painful. It might be a medical issue, or it might be something that your spouse is not doing right. So seek help. So your assignment for this week, schedule a day with your spouse for intimacy. It should be a day that works for both of you. Schedule it, put it into your timetable. On this scheduled day, plan something new. Either you're going to try a new style in bed, or you're going to try doing it somewhere new, or you're going to wear some new type of lingerie. So just to wrap things up, always waiting to be in the mood or always waiting for sex to happen spontaneously may be one of the reasons why intimacy eventually fades in a marriage. So even if you're not in the mood, create the mood, create the excitement, be deliberate, be intentional. I can guarantee that it's not always easy, especially when you're tired, especially with kids. But if you want your marriage to work, if you want to continue to maintain that bond, that connection, that intimacy with your spouse, then you're going to have to put in the work. And that putting in the work sometimes requires you being deliberate or intentional about it and not always waiting for it to just happen naturally. If you feel like you're heading towards a sexless marriage or there are issues in your bedroom that you like to discuss, then I have a link that I've put in the description box. You can click the link to book a consultation with me. I also have a WhatsApp channel and emailing list where I share regular tips about intimacy. So if you haven't already joined yet, the link is going to be in the description box below. Please click and make sure you join or subscribe to my mailing list. I've been doing all the talking. Now is your turn. Be honest. Do you prefer spontaneous sex or planned sex? And would you ever consider scheduling intimacy with your spouse? Let me know down in the comment section. We'll meet again, same time next week.